What's up, guys, and welcome to another edition of Joe Knows Stuff TV. In today's episode, we're going into lesson number 2 of my extensive Lightroom training, and the topics going to be discovered. The topics that's going to be discussed is face detect and the paint tool, one of my favorite tools. Go to intro. Welcome back, guys. In tonight's episode, we're going to talk about face detection in Lightroom. So let's get started. All right, I have brought in, 47 photos. I can tell that by down here. That's my import. I've got one selected, and face detect tutorial is the name of the file that I've got these in right here. I just brought them in, I imported them the way I explained in the last video, video number 1. This is video number 2. Anyway, we've got 47 pictures with faces on them. Some of them are older, some of them are newer. I just pulled in pictures of friends of mine and things that I've seen. Okay, now we just got to go into face detect mode. Now it's going to go into welcome to people view and start finding faces in entire catalog. No, only find faces as needed. If you have a lot of pictures in your catalog and you put this on finding the entire catalog, it could take 7 to 8 hours if you've got hundreds and hundreds of people on there, because it goes through every photograph looking for the shape of a face. It will pull out paintings, it will pull out tattoos. You have a picture of a tattoo, a guy with a tattoo, and it's got a face on it, it will pull that up. So I highly recommend only find faces as needed. So let's go for it. We're probably going to put this on pause for a minute, but you can see it's already drawing up faces. But let's put this on pause just for a second, or maybe fast forward. Okay, it's finishing up now. You can tell up here by the slider. And you can see I've got some wild characters in here. So we start naming them. First of all, you hover over one of them, number 3, that's me from a few years ago. Just click on it and put Joe. I'll put Joe Byron because there are other Joes in my life, and hit enter. Bingo, it falls into a named people. Now, unfortunately, like here's another picture of me. Unfortunately, it does not recognize people unless it's really totally clear. Now, all you got to do is grab a picture of me and grab it, right click it, or left click it, and then drag it into the file, and instantly it brings in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look through here and see if there's any more pictures of me. There's one of me, and it says, because it's getting to know me, the more pictures you put in there, the better it gets to know you. Just hit check whenever it pulls up your name. This one pulls up my name. This one pulls up my name. Hey, this is getting pretty good. And this one pulls up my name. Now, these drag queens, I like drag queens, they're funny. This one pulls up me, but it's not, it's my neighbor, or my ex-neighbor, Oscar, O-S-C. A-R, I think. And this one is Tammy. Tammy's in here quite a bit. Let's hit enter. It should pull up. It should pull up Tammy as more. Yeah, because it recognizes the blonde. So let's go ahead and just punch through Tammy real quick. It's probably going to pull up some more that's Tammy. But anyway, you get the idea of face detect. Now, let me show you what you can do with it. Okay, now that you know how to face detect, what can we do with it? Well, just like anything else, we can go, let's say we're in all folders, and we want to find pictures of Tammy. We've been reminiscing. We can go into text. We can go into any searchable field, file name, title, but we don't know what's in her title. We don't know. We know that she's in my face detect under Tammy, and bingo, it pulls up all the photos that I tagged with her name on them. Now, if I had 3 or 4 Tammys in my file, it would pull up all the Tammys. If I wanted just Tammy, I would put in her last name too. So, that is how valuable face detection is in Lightroom. Alright guys, another valuable tip in Lightroom is the Painter tool. I love this little guy. Let's go tag some photos. Alright, first of all, we got all 90 of our photographs pulled up that we did. We want to tag some photos. Now, we can tag with a lot of things. We can tag with keywords, a label, a flag, a rating, metadata, settings, rotation, and target collection. First one we'll cover is keywords. Now, this is very valuable because you can type in a bunch of keywords. It doesn't matter. Let's say we'll go with local flowers. And we can type in a bunch. All we got to do is put commas between the letters. Now, let's say we're going to, I'll tell you what, let's put in flower tutorial. And then hit a comma. Okay, now, whenever we paint on all these flowers, in other words, we just go boom, 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 and you get the idea. Now, how do I know they've been tagged? Well, let's go off the tag tool. Let's go to the loop. Let's pull up one of the ones that we tagged, which I don't think we got quite there yet. I think we were up here around the turtles. Now, let's look in our, and right there, local flowers, flowers tutorial. So that is such a quick way of giving your photographs keywords. Now, let's go back to grid mode. Let's grab the painter tool again. Let's go to label. Let's say we want to give them color. Now, I'm going to explain how I do labels, but I'm going to do that in a later video, but you can give them a color. You can also give them a color by 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, or 0. Okay, you can give them a flag. Flags come in 3 flags. Flagged, unflagged, rejected. Not my favorite way of rating photos. You can give it a rating, 1 to 5 stars. Just depends on what you want to give. Metadata. Now this one's really good because you can set up different metadata. Remember the one I set up in the first lesson of Lightroom number 1, this is what you can do. If you don't have more than one set up, you can only apply the one, but it's real easy to set a metadata up. You can apply settings, rotation. This one's really cool because if your photos they come in horizontal when they should be vertical, you can easily rotate. A lot quicker than right-clicking, going into a menu and all that. And then a target collection that you can put it in. You can. I don't have any collections set up yet, which we're going to get to, but you can have it go to that collection. That is the Painter tool. Very valuable for post adding descriptions. Use it. All right, I want to go into the rating systems now and how I do it. Now, let's say we've got a group of photographs and we know we want to edit and give them a proper place in the sun, if you will. If I give a photograph a 1 star, that means I want to potentially work on it. So let's pick out 3 that we potentially want to work on. Let's pick Megan here, and we click on Megan, and you can either right click and set color label, set rating, 1 to 5 stars. You can always come back in and take the star off by right-clicking the photograph, or you can just click 5, 1, 1 for 1 star, 2 for 2 star, 3, 4, and 5. Then you can get into 6, and all I'm doing is clicking the keyboard, number 6, and that's a red. You can click a number 7, and it changes to a yellow, an 8, a 9, and a 0. And a 0 takes the 5 stars off. But I want to get rid of that blue star. So right click, set color label to none. And then we're still going to give her a 1 star. We're also going to edit this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. Now, when we're editing, we don't have to edit that many. We can go into loop mode. with these 6 selected. So you see we got Megan selected here. We can go here and it instantly becomes a loop mode, so we can eliminate some of these. Let's say we don't like the 4-wheeler. We definitely want that out. A little cheesy grin. I like them all. Which one do we pick? Well, we gotta get rid of one of these because it looks like there's a duplicate. It's definitely between these two, and I cannot choose. But I'm gonna go with the foreground, middle ground, background picture because we can truly edit that. We can bring that to life. So that one wins. It gets a 2-star. And then we're going to start developing it. And that's another lesson. So that's a good way of working your way up, if you will, to the best photos in a certain group. Okay, now let's get into filtering a little bit. We explained how you can eliminate using the survey tool. Let's go select some pictures that we think will really be hot. Let's do some flowers here. Okay, I like that one. I'm going to give that a 1-star. I'm going to give that one a 1-star. And this pine cone a 1-star. Now, if I want to find all my 1-star pictures and eliminate all the rest of them, all I got to do is click this little star here, this 1-star. And it pulls up all the ones that I've given 1 star to. Now, if I want to select these 3, right click and set a color label of, say, red on them, then I can search for just the red and the 1-stars. That you combine the filters here. This is the filtering system. It's a way of, if you know how you're filing, which I'm going to show you mine here in just a second, you can really get somewhere. Alright, here's how I look at photography. There are 3 basic types of photography. 1 is standard photography, 2 is HDR photography, high dynamic range, and 3 is panos. Now, standard photography uses 1 frame per photograph, where HDR photography can use 3, actually 1, but it's not real HDR, 3 to 9 frames to make 1 photograph, all fused together. Panos do the same thing. The only difference is panos is using the same exposure, just capturing a wider vista, because you're taking a picture here, moving it, and then stitching it together in Lightroom. I'll show you how to do that later. And 3 is HDR. HDR are photographs taken of the same thing, 1 underexposed, 1 overexposed, and 1 properly exposed, or 5 photographs, 2 overexposed, 2 underexposed. That you get the drift. And then fused together so you get great saturation out of the highlights, midtones, and the shadows. So I try to divide my photographs up into those 3 categories: HDR, standard, and panos. I don't really give my standard photos a certain color just to call them standard, because most photographs are standard. I do, however, give my HDR photographs a purple rating, and I give my panos a blue rating. And the way I sort of see that is panos are for vast vistas outside. Outside involves the sky, and the sky is blue. So it's a way for me to associate blue being outside sky, pano, and then purple is the HDR. It's just my way of filing. It's my way. If I want to pull up all my HDR photographs from my entire catalog, all I gotta do is punch that search bar right over here for purple, and it pulls up all my HDR photographs. So there's another valuable tip in Lightroom. Alright guys, that's going to do it for lesson number 2 of the extensive Lightroom training that I'm offering. Keep in mind, now that I'm off work because of the virus, I'm going to be doing a lot of videos about Lightroom, Adobe Photoshop, photography, camera reviews. So stay tuned and feel free to subscribe if you like this video. Click that little bell icon, like this video, and leave a comment. I'll be glad to answer all comments. This is a small channel. I'm just trying to get it to grow, and I appreciate your support. That'll do it for this video. On behalf of everybody, stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see you next time. Joe Knows Stuff TV is out.